Now, the conviction and sentencing of Sirisia Member of Parliament John Waluke and Grace Wakhungu in the 314 million shillings NCPB scandal has no doubt opened a can of worms and sent jitters down the spine of many high-profile individuals with corruption cases in court. Now, while the two have become the latest faces of graft, Jacob Juma, who was one of the co-accused, would have suffered, I should say, a similar fate, but was killed a few years ago, and the murder case still remains cold. Tonight, Ken Mijungu tells us the other people who, by default or design, rubbed shoulders with the trio.
You perhaps have been asking how a fictitious 314 million shilling invoice was paid through the public coffers in the maize scandal that has seen Sirisia Member of Parliament John Waluke and Grace Wakhungu sentenced over it. Well, deceit, manipulation and intimidation were at the center. Proper connections in the right places was the aiding factor, and a chance-disputed election nailed it for these fraudsters. The plot begins in 2004 when the government issued a maize importation quota to bridge the deficit that exposed many across the country to hunger and possible starvation. The Minister for Agriculture then was Kipruto Arap-Kirwa. The convicts, John Waluke, the late Jacob Juma and Grace Wakhungu, through their company Erad Supplies, won a contract to supply 40,000 metric tons of maize. We now know they never delivered on that contract, and they never intended to deliver the maize. The dispute was to drag on to 2007, and after the disputed election, William Ruto became the Minister of Agriculture. The ministry was then to commission an investigation, and after a report was delivered, the whole board of NCPB was sent home, save for the chairperson, Jim Nambaru. The new board members were Dr. Adrian Wekulo, Elias Barishil, Rosa Akinyi, Mohamed Islam, and Timothy Busienei. 7 months after the appointment and the successful arbitration between NCPB and Erad Supplies, the company was awarded more than 300 million shillings in damages for the aborted contract. Lawyer Evans Gaturu was the appointed arbitrator. NCPB, being dissatisfied with the award, went to court, and Erad Supplies appointed city lawyer Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi to represent it. The award was transferred to Soita and Saende Advocates, which in turn paid the lawyers 79 million shillings. Wakhungu and Waluke were paid 90 million shillings, while the huge sum of 127 million shillings was collected in cash by a faceless individual who became the major beneficiary. The landmark ruling was delivered by Chief Magistrate Elizabeth Juma. Eyes now turn to the DPP to see if the other individuals who are party to the scam will be taken in to face charges. Ken Mijungu, NTV.